Hi everyone, this is Marika Azad, and today in this section of Intellect Speaks, I am going to talk to my old friend and a very eminent professional, Mr. Amit Sharma. He is currently working as legal advisor with Department of Trade and Taxes, Delhi GST, with Delhi government. He holds a great educational background. He hails from Ramjas College of Delhi University, a prestigious undergraduate college in Delhi. Thereafter, he cleared DULLB entrance and became part of reputed Campus Law Center of Delhi University, which has given us many distinguished personalities. He again chose NLU Jodhpur for his master's after acing the CLAT examination in 2015. Not only this, alongside, he completed his company secretaryship in 2016. Without a further ado, I would like to introduce you Mr. Amit Sharma.
Hi Amit,
Hi, Smarka.
how are you?
How are you? I'm good. All good.
All set. So let's start with the interview.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you took some time out for our this section and from your busy schedule. I'm really grateful to you. So tell me, why did you develop your interest in law as a subject?
See, see, I never wanted to do law initially, to be very
Okay,
honest. When I was in graduation, I was planning for the MBA.
okay,
So I also joined the CAT coaching, but gradually, friends with me were always interested in law. They talked about law. So what happened that in second year of my graduation I took coaching, cat coaching. Then I gave cat also, but obviously I didn't get through.
okay.
So after completing my graduation, I didn't join the law
Mhm,
directly.
mhm.
So I went for the postgraduate diploma in Indian Law Institute, you must have heard.
Yeah, yeah.
So at that stage, during my that PG diploma, I
Mhm,
developed interest for the law.
mhm,
And I thought that for doing law I have to do LLB anyhow.
mhm.
So that was the first time that I decided that I want to do law.
Okay.
So during my ILI days, I came to know that law is very evolving. Law is very dynamic subject. Though I was
Mhm.
studying a very limited portion of law, the company
Yeah.
law and business law.
Mhm.
But yes, I came to know that law is a very dynamic subject.
Mhm. Let's move on to our next part, that is your diversified educational background. And that is, I would like to ask that um, how was your experience at Campus Law Center and National Law University? And because these were two distinguished law schools that you have been part of. So, how was your experience as a student in these institutes?
See, both are very different, as you already know. One is
Mm-hmm.
a well-known conventional law school, and
Yeah.
otherwise is a most trending NLU 5-year law school.
Mm-hmm.
So in Campus Law Center, it's a I guess more than 90 years old law school in India. It's a
Yeah, yeah,
well-known
right.
conventional law school.
Mm-hmm.
So in Campus Law Center, the environment was totally different because they offer three, as you know, they offer 3 years law course.
Mm-hmm.
So people generally come from different stream. Even
Mm-hmm.
my friends, some of my friends were from like medical background. So I was also surprised that they are coming after doing MBBS or something like that. And some
Mm-hmm.
of my friends were like from engineering background.
Mm-hmm.
So people come there after graduation, so their intellect level, their level of understanding, their behavior is completely different. And if
Mm-hmm.
you go to a law NLU school, National Law School,
Mm-hmm.
they offer 5-year law course. So
Mm-hmm.
students come after their 12th, they somehow they are like school like environment there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely different. So I would say that both are equally good in their respective field, but yes, somehow there are some certain differences between the both, and
Mm-hmm.
which help you differently. Like in a
Mm-hmm.
conventional school, you develop different skills, you get to know different people, you get to interact with different people,
Correct.
their
Correct.
intellect level is different. And in
Mm-hmm.
NLU, like there's a difference, obvious difference between the
Mm-hmm.
both.
Being the residential course also, like it offers
Yeah,
residential courses, so you are
so you
confined to
get to know the
campus.
hostel life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you get to know the hostel life. You somehow you develop your discipline skills.
Mm-hmm.
You become punctual. So
Mm-hmm.
there are basic differences as well as big differences between both the conventional school as well as NLUs.
Mm-hmm. And I would just like to know that how it helped in your career, like being from two different backgrounds. Like Campus Law Center is moreover like very diversified law school, and it also is like a lot of IS officers, IPS officers also go there for their more education for their post graduations and all. And then you go to National Law University, where obviously people come after just their 12th, 10 plus 2. And because we were part of a master's program, we were there for doing LLM from National Law University. So, as we all know, we have discussed it earlier also that there is difference between our law schools and their law schools. So I just wanted to know that how it like helped in your career and how it you evolved as a person, like when you went to National Law University or when you were in conventional law school like Campus Law Center.
See, being classmates, we have already discussed this much
Yeah,
during
a
our
lot of
masters.
times.
But yes, yes, yes. So obviously, for a conventional law student, a conventional law graduate,
Mhm,
entering into NLU is always a different, always a different thing. You'll
mhm,
get a different environment. So I believe it's my personal experience or opinion. I would say that in a conventional school, they develop your intellect level. They work on your internal, I guess, internal skills. Like
mhm,
you discuss various political issues daily. You comment on politics. You 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 have seen that there are groups, over
mhm,
chai and everything. They discuss the
mhm,
politics, they discuss the parties, ideology, and everything. And
mhm,
I would say now conventional schools are also coming up with the modern subjects. Like they are giving up the conventional subjects. Now they are
mhm.
coming up with the new statutes like competition law, cyber law, media law.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have they have they have changed their content.
Mhm,
And in NLU, what I developed was my external skills. Like they work on your presentation skills, they work on
mhm,
your communication skill. They always put you on your toes. Like
mhm.
every day you have to make a PPT, you have to work on your
You have
laptop.
to give
You
agreements and all that. Assignments,
yes,
you will be having your
you
assignments lined up.
yes.
Mhm,
And there you have to familiar with your online database. Like in
mhm,
conventional school, people do research.
mhm,
I won't say that they don't use online database, but yes, particularly in NLUs or in 5 year law school,
mhm,
they they are more involved in these online database, online
mhm,
research, article
mhm,
publications,
mhm.
online
For
moot
the matter, they
competitions,
give
demos,
us an
etc.
entire our
Yes,
screen that
yes.
where we can
And
search for space laws and everything. Mhm,
correct. And they are more into like, new subjects like international law, the problems the
mhm,
countries are facing nowadays,
mhm,
cyber laws, media laws, IPR. So they are
mhm,
more into these subjects. And
mhm,
in conventional school, and they do teach these laws, I won't say, and but they are more focused on, criminal law, the conventional subjects,
mhm,
constitutional law. So you'll get the experts
The
from constitutional
traditional
law, criminal
procedural
law.
subjects, traditional procedural
Yes,
subjects, we put like that,
yes.
if we'd like
But
to do
now,
that.
in last 2 or 3 years, after I
Hmm.
passed out from Campus Law Center, I have seen that they have revised their
Hmm.
syllabus. They have revised all the contents. So now they have included company law as well as media law, cyber law in their
Hmm.
curriculum. So it's good. Like
Hmm.
convention schools have also realized that we have to compete with NLUs. So now they
Hmm.
have come up with these subjects. They know that now students don't need only the conventional subjects. They
Hmm.
want to learn cyber law, they want to learn competition law, they want to learn
Hmm.
tax. So it's basically your difference between your internal skills and external skills.
Hmm.
NLU, my experience says that NLUs work on your presentation skills. You
Hmm.
come up with more, your communication, your presentation, and they open you actually.
Hmm.
So
This takes me to the another question, that is that when we choose, like we have chosen at our times, but in your opinion, what do you think that while choosing colleges and university for doing law, does it make any difference, like if you come from a conventional law school or you come from an NLU, a proper law like lawyer making factory, or you come from a very normal university, like we've been in this profession for a very long time. We know that there are universities like Lloyd Law Colleges, and there are like some colleges in Greater Noida, and there are some Meerut colleges that are there.
yeah.
So there is always this kind of thing between students that you should be from a very good law college. Does it make a difference in your life?
See, unfortunately, I will say that it does.
Hmm.
The law school names does matter.
Hmm.
Uh, you may find people saying that no, knowledge and your skills, what you have gained from your education, it matters.
Hmm.
That's also matters, but for a fresher, I would say, uh, I believe that, like your language, like your native place, like your name, and
Hmm.
the family from where you have come from.
Hmm.
Likewise, the name of your college, or
Hmm.
from where you have done your entire education, you have passed your masters or done
Hmm.
anything, it will go till your, I mean, it will go all during your
Yeah, it
life
reflects
with
in
you,
your CV and everywhere,
wherever
and
you
this
will
is
go.
how. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Like like we say that people are known by their name and address. So obviously, as a law student, as a fresher, you will
Hmm.
always get a advantage over others by your
Yeah,
college, because
because
first
you come from
first
a
when you, yes,
different batch of
so when you,
students. Yeah.
exactly, so when you apply for anywhere, you apply any firm, any senior lawyer. So initially, you physically you don't go, obviously. So
Mm-hmm.
what goes is your CV.
CV. Yeah.
CV with your college name, that from where you
Mm-hmm.
have done your law graduation, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it does give a impression, it does leave an impression over the recruiter that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, he has done
Mm-hmm.
his LLB from CLC, he has done his LLB from NLUs. So I have
Mm-hmm.
also heard that most of the top law firms of in the country, they only prefer law graduates from NLUs. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
have heard this, and this is true. This is the
Mm-hmm.
bitter truth of our profession. and
Mm-hmm.
they, so you understand, please, that the students from other law colleges, even they are
Mm-hmm.
not getting chance for the interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are very well rejected at the first stage only.
First
You're
time,
getting me
the
or not?
moment they get to know that this person is not from
Right.
NLU. Yeah.
Exactly. So you are
Mm-hmm.
applying with others, like two from NLUs, two from CLC, one from any. I won't name any law school, but yeah, any law school which is not NLUs or the top conventional school, so your
Yeah.
CV will be rejected. At the
Mm-hmm.
very first instance, your CV will be rejected, so you will not
Rejected.
get the chance to
Yeah.
show your skills, to show your
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. And I would say that I would say that seven, or I would say, rather to be safer side, 5 out of 10 students have
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. They have
Mm-hmm.
skills,
Mm-hmm.
but
They get
they don't
rejected
have the
because
big
they are
names.
because
But
they
they
are not
don't
from
have the
the.
big names.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so this
And
problem, this is
we all have some friends like that who have to work like a lot to get into a top-notch law firm, because actually they are from some conventional school also, because we have seen all these things
right.
happening.
Even this is the second stage battle. First, I would say between the top law schools, including
Mm-hmm.
conventional school and NLUs.
Mm-hmm.
Second is the non-conventional and non-NLUs. Then the
Mm-hmm.
second comes between conventional versus NLUs.
NLU, yeah.
So, and then then even NLUs, the top NLUs and the, you know,
Mm-hmm. NLUs like
so
who are in top 5 and who are on
top
like
5 and
10.
yes, correct,
Yeah, that's
correct.
the thing. That's the
So
competition.
I would so concluding with conclusion, I would say that yes, your law school names does matter. It
Mm-hmm.
matters a lot
Mm-hmm.
in your development also,
Mm-hmm.
and in your personal growth also,
Hmm.
and
Unless you are
it
trying to go in
increases.
judiciary or somewhere where your CV does not have to play that much of role than your marks.
True,
Hmm.
true. But even I would say in judiciary also it plays a
Yeah.
role,
Yeah.
because you get an impression. Even
Mm-hmm.
I have not faced any interview, to be very
Mm-hmm.
frank, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe that whenever you appear before a board for interview, so obviously your
Mm-hmm.
CV is there, your background is there, from where you have done your law, so it gives
Mm-hmm.
an impression that you have
Yeah.
come from some, not so good, not so popular law school, and you
Law
have
school.
come
Yeah.
from
The
somewhere
next
like
question will
Bangalore.
be why you chose this uh, uh, institute rather choosing some good conventional college or NLU. Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
understand.
And
Right.
I
Right.
and at the same time, I won't say that the students from non-LLUs or not top law schools are not good. They
Mm-hmm.
are equally
Mm-hmm.
good, and some of them are doing great in their
Great, like yeah,
fields.
Lloyd is an example.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct,
Mm-hmm.
correct. So, but on paper, law. You must
Yeah.
be knowing law. If we
Mm-hmm.
take example, your like Munshi, we have Munshis. So
Yeah.
your Munshi must be having more knowledge than you, obviously.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
procedural knowledge he has,
Uh-huh.
but he doesn't have a law degree.
Law degree.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we need something on paper.
Yeah.
Like that
Document
this
speaks.
guy is good.
In law language,
Correct.
document speaks.
Speaks correct. So this is the case.
Mm-hmm. Nice. This is something we actually faced, and we faced as we were like freshers. We were facing all these problems when we were out of our law colleges. Now, my next question is that,
Correct.
uh,
Even I have been rejected.
yeah, yeah. Even I was rejected, so it's not a big thing. Even if on lighter,
Not from NLUs.
yeah, we were not from NLU at that point of time. And like on lighter notes, if we speak,
Correct.
Facebook ka malik bhi rejected. So this is how things go. So
See,
my next.
see this is the only reason. This is the only reason after completed my law, I
Mhm.
just chose NLU. Like
Mhm.
I gave CLAT, I gave NLUD entrance for LLM. So
Mhm.
because uh, it was in trend that if you don't have any degree from NLUs, you might be rejected.
You might be
You might
rejected,
face
right?
problem. So it was in
Mhm.
my mind all, my friends told me that why are you not opting, why are you not going for Delhi University LLM. So
Mhm.
I told them that okay, I have LLB degree from conventional school, so it's time
Mhm.
that I should do something from NLU as well. So NLU
Yeah.
must be in my CV.
Yeah, right, right. This is something which I also faced. So I was like, either go overseas for your studies or be in NLU. This moves me to the another question, that is, what were like uh, what were your experiences, and from your experiences, what will you suggest to students who are watching us today, and the students who are like want to take up competition exams, or they are already law students and want to be in the profession, and or maybe they are in their 10 plus 1 or 10 plus 2, and they want to come up as a law student. So what will your suggestions will be regarding that?
See, I would say that being a first generation lawyer, I
Mhm.
have seen the struggle. I have closely faced those, problems.
Mhm.
So being a first generation lawyer,
Mhm.
you come up across with number of number of problems, number of difficulties in this profession, and it's a
Mhm.
bitter truth.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's a bitter truth.
Mhm.
And for students who are thinking like they want to go for law,
Mhm.
I would say that don't take law as a something so light.
Mhm.
Don't take it lightly that okay,
Mhm.
let's do LLB, let's wear a black coat. it's
Mhm.
it's not like that.
Mhm.
It's far much difficult. Then
Mhm.
it's beyond your imagination if you
Yeah,
don't
right.
have actual interest in your law.
Mhm.
So just don't do because others are doing, and don't
Mhm.
do because you are fascinated court, or you're
Mhm.
fascinated by, because yes, this profession has some reputation. This
Mhm.
profession has some social status,
Mhm.
but at the same time
Mhm.
the people are facing much difficulties in this profession.
Yeah.
So those students who are in their 10th or 12th, I would
Mhm.
say just get a brief, just talk to some your friends, your seniors who have already
Mhm.
opted for law, who are doing
Mhm.
law, and talk to them, and
Mhm.
just try to understand that what is this profession, what is law, how will you proceed. Then
Mhm.
only, and then understand, at the same time understand your skills as well, your
Mhm.
potential as well.
Yeah.
So just don't do law just for the sake of doing, because
Mhm.
it's different, like medical, and that's why we call it practice, because it's a
Practice.
life
Yeah.
learning process.
Mhm.
It's a life learning process, so it's not a 1 year or 2 year game.
Mhm.
Just you study law books and you are
Mhm.
ready with your profession, that I'll get a job and I'll do, you know I'll be
Mhm.
getting a package. No, it's a life
Mhm.
learning process. Even a
Mhm.
60-year-old lawyer is studying today. Like for example, I am from GST. So
Mhm.
it was a new law, it was a new regime for the country. So in
Mhm.
2007 was when GST was implemented. So
Mhm.
there were number of lawyers at the tax bar who were
Mhm.
doing, who have been doing practice since
Mhm.
since 20 years, since 30 years.
Mhm.
But what GST has done,
Mhm.
now all are equal. Like
Mhm.
even
Right. Mhm.
at the age of 20 or 30, I am quitting, and 60-year lawyer, a tax lawyer who has been
Mhm.
in practice for 20, 30 years, he's
Yeah.
competing with me. We are
Mhm.
at a equal level. He is also
Yeah.
learning GST, I am also learning GST.
Mhm.
So it's a life learning process. So
Mhm.
until you have your strong interest in law,
Mhm.
I would say don't opt for law.
Mhm. Because it's a life learning process, and it does make you, like, it wants your life, a long period of your life, and it doesn't stop there only. So what, as you are in the,
Yeah, at every level, in every case, in every situation, you will be learning a new law, new provision. You
mm,
have to face
mm,
new statute, you have to face new situation. So it's not
yeah,
like that
and
you
amendments
have
are there
uh,
all the time. Amendments are there
yes,
all the time.
yes, what you have studied in your law school 4 years
Mhm.
back or 3 years back, it may not be there in
Would
law
be in the
books
force.
anymore.
Yeah, it
Correct.
might not be in the force itself. So that's the thing. That is
Yes.
how law works. It works with the society.
So it
The
will
society,
change. It will
yeah,
certainly
the
change.
moment it's changed,
And
yeah, basic law is that law of same. That is the thing that we were taught in when our first lecture in our conventional law school. It keeps us on our toes all the time.
and I would also say, like, uh, you have asked the question that what you suggest for the law students who are, planning to opt for the law. So I
Hmm.
would say, specifically for the first generation lawyers, that you must think twice.
Twice, yeah.
It's
We haven't,
unfortunately,
you
again, I
should.
would say, yes, if you haven't, you should surely.
Nee, we
I
haven't,
mean,
we
I would
haven't, you
say,
should.
yeah, correct, exactly. We haven't,
Yeah.
but you should. And you must think even twice, thrice, I would
Hmm.
say, because profession would be somehow difficult for you, and it's
Yeah.
it's a bitter truth, and
Hmm.
we should accept this also in every
It
field, I
requires
guess, not
hard
in
work.
in
It
our
requires
profession.
hard work.
Yes.
And it is not
See,
true only for first generation lawyers, it is true for even for the next generation lawyers. Because if you are not hardworking, you're going to lose your cases. And eventually people are
exactly.
going to run away from you because you are losing cases. This is how it works. So
Correct.
it
But
takes me
but
to my
yes,
another question.
but second generation lawyer,
Hmm.
yes, but second generation lawyer, they have, some level of edge, I would say, because
Yeah,
they
right,
have well
right.
established practice of their fathers or any relatives. So they
Yeah, right.
definitely get an edge over those who are
Us,
first
yeah,
generation lawyer.
yeah.
So we don't have links. See, like you and
And you have to
I,
work
we don't
harder
didn't
because
have,
obviously,
you will develop links. Obviously, when you
yeah.
enter into
Hmm.
this profession, you will develop links. Then
Hmm.
your hard work will come into picture, that you will show
Pictures,
your
yeah.
hard work to those
Hmm.
links, that yes, I am a hardworking advocate, and I have knowledge, I have skills. Then you will
Hmm.
get work.
Yeah,
So this
because
this
obviously this
this is definitely
entire site works on connections and links and how you are going to get your clients and everything. And profession is not some. I would say that it is not just
obviously
everybody's cup of tea.
obviously you see, being a layman, I would never prefer to give my case to
Hmm.
a fresher or to
Yeah.
a first generation lawyer.
Hmm.
So no one wants to take
Yeah.
risk.
Until my pocket is
So
sagging, so I won't prefer somebody who's coming from a first
yeah,
generation. Yeah. Otherwise, they'll all choose for law firms and everything. But to
no,
prove yourself,
no,
to have your own ground,
exactly, that would be a,
yeah,
so
you
that
have
would
to
be a
just be there.
situation like beggars can't be choosers. So in that
Yes, right,
situation, you will
right,
prefer first generation
right.
lawyer. You don't
Exactly,
have options.
exactly, exactly. So this takes me to another question that being a first generation lawyer also you must have gone through these kind of options, that what your options will be after law school. So what are the options that are available for law students after their law graduation?
See, the most popular and most wide option is practice. So
Practice.
just
Yeah.
pass your LLB, go
Yeah.
registered yourself with bar council and start your practice.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, if you want to, you want to judge, you don't want to practice.
Mm-hmm.
So the second option, the most popular, is judiciary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you can go for law officer. Then,
Mm-hmm.
like law officer, like public prosecutor,
Mm-hmm.
prosecution officer, and simply
Mm-hmm.
law officer. A number
Mm-hmm.
of, states, they recruit law officers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then comes in-house counsel. Like, you can opt for any company,
Mm-hmm.
like you can be a part of their legal department where they advise. You may get a chance to appear on behalf of the company, or you may just, work as
Be
an
at the
in-house,
back.
and you
Yeah.
just, yes,
Mm-hmm.
you will work back end. So you will advise the company, you will ensure the compliance on behalf of the company, you will represent the company, as a law officer. Then comes the advisory firm like KPMG, like audit firms, Deloitte. So you can go for these firms where you work as a compliance officer, you work as an analyst. So you don't do practice, but you practice law in house. Like you advise them, you have your international clients, and you help them to comply with Indian laws. So it's another good option. There you get a good package, you get a good salary, and you get a very competitive and very good environment also. And then another option which people must be aware now, but at when I was in graduation, we were not actually. Honestly, I was not. Is another is the forces, like in army, in navy. I myself appeared twice for the army interview, though I didn't get through. So they have the separate department called Judge Advocate General, JAG. And
Jack.
yeah, so they have, but they have age limit, I guess. If
28.
I
28.
correct, 27 or 28.
28. Yeah.
So you can go for JAG department, where you have to appear for SSB. You can clear the SSB. They're the toughest interview, I would say, because I didn't get through. So army has this department, navy this has this department, coastal guards has this department, and air force has this department. So all the branches of forces, they have this JAG thing.
Jack. Yeah.
And then you can go for law researcher as well, if you are good into research, if you are so handy with this online database. So you can go for law research, you can write paper, you can write books, you can write articles, you can help writers as well. So another option is law researcher. Then you can opt for teacher, like if you want to teach.
Sorry, it just.
So teacher is another option. So teacher is another option. Then comes, I came to know about this option when I was I met one of my friend in High Court. Then there is a field, or there is a work like journalist, law journalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have come into this profession mistakenly and you are thinking that no, I should have done journalism, then you
Yeah.
can still opt for the journalism in this law field.
Journalism. Yeah.
You can go for law journalist. So what they do, I met one of my noting, he was making notes of proceedings. So I asked him that what are you doing? So he told me that I am with some, law database, online database. What they do, they update people with the, like we have seen law, live law, bar and
Yeah.
bench. So what they do, they report the latest judgment. So
Okay.
you have to appear in the court, not as a lawyer, but yes, you have to be present in the court, you have to hear the proceedings, you have to
Proceedings. Yeah. Take notes.
track, have a check, you have to have a track on the cases, that what is going on, what is the latest update. So you report. So you have, if you have a writing skill, you have a communication skill, so you can still be a journalist.
Yeah.
So these are the, and this list is exhaustive. I mean, I
Never
may
ending.
have
Yeah.
missed some. Yes. So it's a very dynamic field. Every organization, I believe that any organization cannot run without law. They have to comply with some norms. They have to comply with various laws, and for that matter, you
They
need a
need
lawyer.
lawyers.
You need a advisor. So it's a very dynamic profession, and I have just named certain, or I would say several fields, but it's very wide.
but you have enlightened us with a lot of fields that a person can pursue after law graduation. I would move on to the next question. That is that if you can just tell us that, in your opinion, that how these online teaching and educational platforms are working in this, basically because in this current situation. Yeah, in basically in this situation, we are
Hello.
confined to have. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you please
Yeah,
repeat your question?
yeah, I can. I was asking that what are these online, because these are evolving right now, these online platforms that are evolving right now because of this situation also, that we are restricted to our homes, and traditional teaching is having its own platform, but now because of pandemic also, and because from certain, like we have heard about an academy or Khan academy, we have heard these kind of online platforms, and they are working in different set of, they are working in different sets of like in fields to give online courses and teachings to the students who are not able to go to traditional kind of teaching. So, what is your opinion about these online platforms?
See,
Mm-hmm.
people were already using these online platforms before
Yeah,
this pandemic also.
yeah, right.
But what happened is that this pandemic, fortunately or unfortunately, has,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just again we have started discussion over these online classes, online platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I would say that physical presence of your teacher cannot be replaced and should not
Yeah,
be
right.
replaced. You can restrict it, you can limit that thing, but it should not be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but as far as online classes are concerned, it's a
Mm-hmm.
new thing. It's a very convenient thing, and I would
Mm-hmm.
say it's a need of the hour. And
Yeah, yeah.
after this pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
so we can't run. Even we can't proceed. We cannot proceed without online learning now.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this pandemic has given a chance that we should,
Mm-hmm.
we should opt for these things in our
Mm-hmm.
future, and
Mm-hmm.
it has, you know many advantages. I would
Mm-hmm.
say that it's, first of all, it's convenient, that
Mm-hmm.
you can learn anywhere, anytime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even it has no time foundation that you have to sit like between 8 to 10 or 10 to 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
right.
it's it's on, like, whenever you are free, whenever you are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go, you can just log in, and you can learn. You
Yeah.
can watch video, you can raise
Mm-hmm.
your doubts as well. you can
Mm-hmm.
you can watch that video again and again even.
Yeah.
So in physical classes, it's not possible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot repeat exactly what your teacher has just said.
Yeah, right.
He
Mm-hmm.
might repeat the lesson,
Mm-hmm.
not the exact one,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
second is, it's very cost effective, I would say. And am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible. Sorry, this is something which is happening on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please continue. Sorry.
Okay. So online classes are always cost effective. So
Mm-hmm.
physical classes, you'll have to attend the class. You have to, you have to incur your transport charges as well. And if you are going there, obviously it will increase your expenses. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as online platforms are concerned, these are most convenient, most cost effective, I
Mm-hmm.
would say, system, that
Mm-hmm.
anywhere, at your home, at your workplace, you can learn. You can
Mm-hmm.
open up any link, like any video, any previous class video,
Mm-hmm.
and you can learn.
Yeah.
And third thing is, it's very, pace.
Yes, yes. Please continue. I'm really sorry that some technical issue is.
No, it's really okay. So it's
Yes.
one of the disadvantage of online learning
Yeah, right,
classes
right.
that
If you
you
do
might
not have
have.
internet. Yeah,
Yes, you don't have a good internet connection, then obviously you will face such kind of
yeah.
problems. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pace learning. I would say online system, online learning classes is a pace learning that
Mm-hmm.
you can proceed with your own pace. You don't
Yeah.
have to rush with others. Like in a
Mm-hmm.
physical class system, you
Mm-hmm.
have to, you know, proceed to the next chapter or to the next book or to the next subject as per
Mm-hmm.
your, you know, you can't go separately. Like I want to, you know, I want to my pace is very slow and I don't want to read again the first chapter, but you can't do that in physical
Mm-hmm.
class. You have to go
Mm-hmm.
with the flow. If
Yeah.
your class is, you know, whole class is, you know, is on chapter 2, you have to read chapter 2
Chapter 2. Yeah, right.
even if you have not understood the chapter 1. But in
Mm-hmm.
online classes this is not the case.
Yeah.
You can, you know, as many and many times you can see your chapter 1. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a pace learning. And through online classes, because this problem is very, you know, wide in India,
Mm-hmm.
that we do have remote areas,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we have seen that people, for example, like
Areas. Yeah.
yeah. So if we take an example of, you know, like engineering, so it's
Mm-hmm.
very famous place, Kota in Rajasthan, that students
Mm-hmm.
all over India, they leave their places and
Mm-hmm.
they go for the coaching. So it's a 1 year or 2 year course there in Kota. They have to live, you know, without their family.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously face homesickness problem, a
Mm-hmm.
number of problems.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you opt for the online coaching system,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sorry, I have changed the entire Wi-Fi system itself now. Hope that it does not go out of service.
now we are talking about online learning system and this
Yeah,
internet
yeah,
is,
I
you
know, I
know,
know. This is happening because rain happened in the morning and my Wi-Fi just got off.
yeah,
I didn't know what
exactly.
happened.
So I've given you example of this, you know, remote area problem we
Yeah.
have in India
Mm-hmm.
specifically. So it helps online learning system. It helps a lot
Mm-hmm.
students. So
So you have enlightened us about how these things goes about. You talked about everything very nicely. Now, on a lighter note, I would just ask you that how much marks you give you yourself as a first generation lawyer and your journey that you have faced in this entire time, because obviously we've been in this law field for a very long time now. So uh, just give me your marks, that what you mark yourself as, like from the scale of 1 to 10.
see, I would never give full marks to me because
Mm-hmm.
as a having said that this profession is a life learning process, so I would never give 10 out of 10 to myself any day. I'll not.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, for struggle, I'll give 7 or to 8 out of 10, and
Yeah.
overall I'll give. If you will ask me, then I'll give 6 to 7 marks. Like
Mm-hmm.
yes, I have achieved, but there's lot to learn. There's lot to achieve.
Yeah.
I'm just 30, so there's a life. There's entire life in front of
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
The so
Yeah, as a lawyer, we should evolve all the time, like, because we are
Yes.
into practice. Yeah, as you said rightly, that we are into practice, we have to evolve. So thank you so much
We
for
have
having.
to.
Thank you so much. We've had enlightening talking to you, and this is a very new and very good experience that I had. And thank you for joining me and bearing with my internet connection also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Smarika. It was nice talking to you, interacting with you, and to talk about this very good subject. This very sharing my personal experience. It was very wonderful experience for me also. So
Thank you.
thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.